I'm a trusted seller with great references. I accept PayPal friends and family only.
Look, Wild Bill.
Who was that?
He's a Facebook G.I. Joe seller. He said we could take friends and family.
Well, just don't do what a stranger says. Check it out with the admin of the group. Remember, a stranger can mean danger. And now I know, knowing is half the battle. So you just saw some G.I. Joe figures and you feel an inspiration to revisit your childhood by rejoining the wonderful world of G.I. Joe. What do? How do you start? Where do they even sell G.I. Joes anymore? Which G.I. Joes do you want to collect? Here are 7 tips for a beginning G.I. Joe collector to get you started collecting on a budget. Tip number 1. Find a theme and follow it. G.I. Joes have been around for a very long time. There are too many to mention and way too many to follow for a beginning collector. There are also modern figures, those Barbie-like figures from the 60s, convention exclusives, foreign releases. The list is endless. It can be a challenge to even take the first step in collecting. What do I even collect? That's why step number 1 is to find a theme and stick to it. As you progress, you can choose other avenues to explore, but for a beginner on a budget, you need to stay focused on one series or specific area. Tip number 2, join a community. Social media has a million G.I. Joe groups that you can join. These groups are a great place to ask questions and make friends with other collectors. There are sales groups, groups that share history, groups that focus on customs, etc. You can get a great education about this hobby by getting into those groups. I must give a bit of advice on this tip, however. Read around a bit before asking questions. These groups are full of new people coming in and out and just asking questions. This is the internet, and the members of these groups are constantly bombarded by the same questions over and over. I found this Joe in my attic. How much is it worth? If you scroll around a few minutes, you can get all the answers you need by the last 10 new members this week asking the same questions. Tip number 3, how to navigate eBay. Although it's not 100% accurate, eBay is a great source for current collectibles prices. Learn to modify your search parameters and you can see what your G.I. Joes are selling for. Be sure to click on sold items in the search or completed listings. If you base your evaluations on the prices people are selling items for, you will be basing your evaluations on wishful thinking and not current trends. You need to make sure you're checking out what the items are actually selling for. Number 4, start off organized. G.I. Joes can accumulate quickly, whether you've been collecting for a short time or forever. You can start to accumulate a nice little collection which grows larger with time. The problem is that after a while it can be difficult to keep track of, which can be chaotic and time consuming if you're forgetting what figures you have or where they are. To avoid this, organize your G.I. Joe collection from the very beginning. Make sure you have the boxes, bins, baggies, or whatever method you will be storing them in. Number 5, pace yourself. Rome wasn't built in a day, and you won't build your G.I. Joe collection in a day either. You can burn out quickly if you burn the candle at both ends hunting figures. Be patient. Despite the popularity of G.I. Joe, there are many deals to be had in the wild still for collectors that have the right combination of luck, tenacity, and solid research. Most collectors have a few stories about how they got a great gem in a bargain bin or at a swap meet. I got my Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander from a lot of broken G.I. Joes on eBay. I saw the special logo in the pile and one of the straight arms. I won the bid at an amazing price and replaced the O-rings. I waited for months and my patience paid off. Tip number 6, make your list of key G.I. Joes. One of the coolest aspects of collecting G.I. Joes is that many of them can be worth money, especially key figures. A key figure is an important or essential figure that is rare and valuable. This could be a main character or one that is hard to find or sought after. Figures with small or hard to find accessories can also be key. You will never catch these Joes in the wild if you can't spot them. And if you're waiting for someone to spot one for you, the spotter will take the deal or charge you more for it. I found my Mickey Mouse Cobra Commander by looking carefully through the photo. I'm sure others looked at the lot, but they didn't see it. Knowing how to spot the keys from my list has been my biggest asset in growing my collection. Tip number 7, subscribe to an entertaining and informative YouTube channel. You already took the first step in watching this video. I have been collecting G.I. Joes for over 30 years and have been producing content for years about collecting G.I. Joes, comic books, toys, and other pop culture phenomena. I do unboxings, reviews, and I also have different comic convention exclusive shows, toy reviews, vintage toy restorations, and movie reviews. I aim to keep our subscribers entertained and informed about comics, toys, and the culture that surrounds them. If you have any tips that I missed or suggestions for beginning collectors, please feel free to share them in the comments below. I hope these were informative or at least entertaining. Don't forget to subscribe for more information about collecting, and we'll see you next time.